Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany, and today we are going to talk about three new pens, three new companies to me. So, first of all, let's talk about pen number one. So, this is the lovely pen. Look at all that. So pretty. This pen is from Piper Trading Company, and here is their business card. They are out of North Carolina, and I believe they're like a sister company to Franklin Christoph. They sell fountain pens, they sell ballpoint, some of the accessories for ballpoint, and some cases and like pen sleeves. So they have quite a few other things. They're not just for fountain pens, but they do have acrylic fountain pens for sale. So this brand or this one I purchased is Papillion, and I believe that's how you say it. I just really like the design and the colors. Really pretty. I think that they only have one model right now, they all look the same. So they have flat ends, or the finials are flat, and they have this indentation on this part of the pen and on the bottom portion of the pen. They don't come with clips. It's a very simple design, and you have like almost just like one turn, and then you get to the nib. They have a engraving of diamonds on the nib, which I believe is their part of their logo. And I got it in a broad. Now my broad writes very wet, so I'm happy there. It is a cartridge converter, international converter, and I would say that it's very comfortable. It's very lightweight. It's not heavy at all. And the price comes at $95 with free shipping, and you can even have a discounted code that they have at the top of their website right now. So just thought I would share that. They do have an engraving on top that says Piper. It's very subtle, and I think it's subtle because of the material that I have. I almost did not even see that. You can kind of see it there. So I've been using this pen for about a week now. Actually, there was a couple days I didn't use it and it didn't dry out. I don't think that there's anything inside the cap to prevent it or help assist it from drying out. So if you aren't using it for a while, you might experience drying of the nib, but otherwise I find it very comfortable. Does it post? Yes. However, it doesn't feel super secure. You kind of have to push a little bit. And I do find that it might feel a little bit weighty, just a tad. It depends on the person, really. It's not overly weighted where I could tell you guaranteed it's gonna be too heavy. But because the material is so light, it's acrylic, it does tend to feel unbalanced in a sense. I'm enjoying it. It's a really pretty pen. They have a lot of different acrylic designs, which I believe they said they get it from Franklin Christoph, the different materials. And it's not a completely smooth transition here. There is a little bit of a lip when it comes from the cap to the barrel. But again, the threads here are very smooth. They're not sharp. And although I feel like the grip section is a little bit small on the smaller side, like it fits my fingers, but if you have bigger hands than me, this may not fit you as well. And so you might have to use the body to grip the pen. So anyway, that is pen number one, Piper Trading Company. Check them out if you're interested. They have really, really great pricing. I will say this is more of an introductory type pen. This might be something you might be interested in. Okay, so next pen is Maverick Pen Company. And look at this. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. If you follow them on Instagram, you may have seen this release about a week ago, and I grabbed it. I snagged it. They have a couple different designs in this material, but I got this one, and it's so pretty. This is, I want to say, this is one of my first like super sparkly, like thick sparkle with the clear ends, and I really love it. I've been kind of eyeing some of their other pens, kind of like, oh, should I get it or should I just wait? Right now I'm waiting. But this is a veteran-owned pen shop, and they are not new to fountain pens, this company. I know they've been out for a while, but they're new to me. Like, this is my first order from them. And this is called the Candyland fountain pen. And it is made of aluminite resin blanks, and they turn it themselves. I ended up getting a medium nib. Writes fine. It's not actually very juicy, and that could be the ink I'm using. Actually, it is the ink I'm using, because the ink I'm using, it's fairly dry. It's a Troublemaker Simoon ink, and so it is a sheening ink, which tend to be slightly drier. So if I have it uncapped for too long without writing, it does hard start. And that's the ink. So this is the first ink I put in it. I will definitely need to try more inks to ensure that the pen is pretty, like, if it's juicy or the pen nib is quite dry. But they say the aluminite resin is more durable than acrylics. And so this one, for instance, my last one is an acrylic, made of acrylic, and this one's made of their aluminite resin. So this one is more polished than this one. So it's very smooth, and it feels different in the hands. But it writes really great. I find that it's very comfortable. It's slightly bigger in the hand than the other pens, so this will definitely fit larger handed people. Larger hands than mine. If I were to take off the cap for a second, you can kind of see the difference in size. And they also have an engraving of an M for Maverick. So yeah, this is also International Cartridge Converter. Let me put these back on. So when I cap them, you can see that this one is smaller. This one does not post. So if you are one of those people that loves posting pens, this might not be for you, but it's so pretty. And I really, the thing I like the most about it is how it has blue in the middle, the green, and then they have like hints of pink on the ends. And it's kind of hard to tell because they're a little bit more see-through, but then there's also that pink in the grip section. So pretty. So happy I got this one. But they do have a couple of others on their site as well. And then last but not least is also new to me, and it's this beautiful Atelier Luso pen. And I've been following them, or I've been following him. It's Eric. He releases his pens on an announcement, either by a newsletter or Instagram. So this pen surprised me because I know the pricing is not, it's up there. So I was hesitant to purchase because there's not a lot of people who talk about his pens on YouTube. And so I was trying to research other fountain pen users who've purchased from them. I've read their comments or reviews left on the website, but I wanted to see like someone actually using the pen, see how big the pen is, kind of thing. But I decided to get this one. And this was like, he was not selling pens for a while. And then most recently, I think a couple weeks ago, he's opened up his shop again and started selling pens. This is the second set of releases from his shop opening recently. And let me tell you, this pen is a lot bigger than you think it is. It's it has a little bit of weight to it, which reminds me of like an Omos. The weight is more on the barrel side, and but it's actually a pretty big pen. So if I were to compare this to the Piper Trading Company, you can see how much smaller the pen is. If I were to compare it to my Maverick, and the Maverick model is called Marauder. I'm not quite sure how many models he has, maybe 3, but you can see it's even bigger than the Maverick pen. So it's a really decent size, like a really decent size pen, which is why I understand how the price is a little bit more pricier with his pens. Also, the craftsmanship is outstanding. It's beautiful. So this pen it's quite unique. So he calls it the Karina Hapalua 15. And it has the Seafoam Awabi with Ghost Wasabi resin by Pensmith. It has like this swirly barrel. Really pretty. And then also at the bottom, it has the same material. And then in the middle, it's just like this beautiful, like resin, I suppose. Wasabi resin, I think that's what it's referring to. And then also he has his hammered bronze clip. He hammers, I think, almost all the clips. And so they're quite unique. It is textured, so you can feel the hammer piece of it. And then this, you have the little dividers or the clips, I guess, or what they call center bands that are also made of bronze. And then in between here, which is kind of hard to tell because of the color, but this is actually a mother of pearl center band divided by 2 thicker bronze bands. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it's very pretty. And it catches the light. But the barrel itself is completely smooth, very smooth, similar to the smoothness and polish of a Maverick pen. The ends are they're not super flat like a Piper Trading Company end, where you can actually sit this on your desk and it would stand upright. They are more like a Maverick pen where they're a little bit bulbed, just a tad. So this pen, as I open it, it does feel quite luxurious. On the cap finial, you got the logo, which I guess is a dragon, I think. And then you have a fairly thick grip section. It doesn't concave in like the other 2 pens. It's just kind of widens out as it gets towards the barrel. And look at that. It's more of a teal blue, leaning more on the green side than blue side. But it's definitely prettier in person than it was in the photos. And then he has his logo on the nib as well. And then my nib is a medium and it writes really good. It writes great. This is a cartridge converter pen. And getting into from here to here is quite a lot of turns, but very like secure and doesn't seem flimsy. And then like inside the barrel, there's, I don't know if he adds something inside, but it just feels heavier. And it's not like tiring heavier. It's like it like makes the weight of the pen superb. Even just like unthreading and threading the pen and the cap, it just feels very well machined and well secure. So there's doesn't seem like there is any, oh, maybe there is. I guess there is like a little cap in there to kind of keep the nib wet now that I feel in there, which is really nice. But yeah, it's very smooth. It's not squeaky. You know how sometimes you hear the squeakiness. Now, all my other pens are fairly smooth too. They're not like super squeaky, but the interesting thing is that you can hear it. This one, you don't hear it so much. It's really interesting, but they're all great. This one, I have the, what ink is in here? I have Iroshizuku Seiyoro in here. So that ink is really fun, and I think it fits this pen. It's not as light as the pen is, but the ink starts off blue and then turns into a green. Anyway, I'm going to do some writing samples if I didn't add them into the video already. But I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and let me know how many of you guys actually have an Atelier Luso pen, because these guys, it's quite nice and very, very unique, very different to me. This is one of the first pens that actually have a really cool finial outside of my Laterna, oh, what is it? It's the pen from overseas. I cannot remember the name, but I would say those are probably the only two pens that have like this finial. And I know Maverick pens sell some pens with unique finials, and so I've been eyeing those. I just haven't pulled the trigger on them. I've been wanting to, but anyway, so these are my new beauties, and I'm really excited about writing with them. They've been really fun to write with. I would say if I had to weigh it, which I don't have a scale with me right now, but I would say these weigh together what this one weighs. It's not super heavy, but it is very noticeable and makes my writing experience chef's kiss. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and I'm going to go start journaling. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.